Let's use the time handling class introduced after JDK 1.8 to complete this task. The new class we will use is localDate. For more refined time classes introduced by JDK 1.8. Since this task requires precision only up to the year, month, and day, without considering the time, localDate is sufficient for our needs. In addition to localDate, we also need a formatting class to work with it. This class is the TTIME formatter. The TTIME formatter, all the new time classes use the TTIME formatter for formatting. With the TTIME formatter and its parse method, we can parse the date string according to the specified pattern and obtain the corresponding time. We should keep in mind that in this task, the date is written as a concatenation of the year, month, and day. LocalDate thus, using localDate, we can parse the date string accordingly. Then, the second parameter specifies the pattern we want to use. This way, we can parse the date string and obtain the birth date. Once we have the birth date, we can use the new pattern to output it by calling the format method and specifying the desired pattern within the parentheses. Let's run the code and see the result. We can observe that the results are identical and correct. Please compare these two methods. Both methods use the parse and format methods. But the difference is that they are applied to the localDate class and object, which is different from the previous approach. Previously, we used the parse method through an object of the simpleDateFormat class to obtain the birth date. With this information, how do we calculate the person's age? To calculate the age, we need the current date, just like before. However, when using localDate, the method to obtain the current date is different from the previous approach with date. We can use the now method of the localDate class to get the current date. It is not created using new, but rather obtained directly from the now method. Similarly, once we have the current date, we can extract the year in the same way as before and subtract the birth year from it. This will give us the age. Now, let's compare this to the previous code. In the previous code, we obtained the date using new, while currently, with localDate, we use the now method to get the current date. Take note that some of the methods with a horizontal line from the old date class, such as getYear, have been deprecated. The new methods should be used whenever possible. By utilizing the new time handling methods, we can successfully calculate and output the person's age. Let's run the code and observe the result. The output should be the same. That concludes the explanation for this task. We encourage you to try it out for yourself. In Java, you can use the method in the localDate class to obtain the current date.